Welcome to Fort Whyte Alive. We love it here. We come here all the time with our class.
We've been sharing unforgettable experiences while exploring their many forests, wetlands, and paths. I don't even know where to start.
And we are learning to build positive and sustainable relationships with nature and each other.
It's been like our own outdoor classroom of the last year. As they state in their mission statement, Fort Whyte Alive is dedicated to providing
Programming, natural settings, and facilities for environmental education.
They also provide outdoor recreation and social enterprise. Fort Whyte promotes awareness and understanding of the natural world around us, like actions leading to sustainable living.
They even have 8 guiding principles which you see in action from the moment you arrive.
Guiding principles are the value statement that helps guide an organization like Fort Whyte Alive towards their goals.
Fort Whyte's principles are connect to nature, sustainability, education, community, respect, ethics and integrity, inclusiveness, and diversity and reconciliation.
They believe time spent in nature benefits people and the planet. They provide a place, programs, and knowledge to help people connect with nature and understand our place as a part of it all.
They are dedicated to providing fact-based, reliable information. They inspire people, like our grade 5 class, to make meaningful changes to the world. But Fort Whyte didn't just appear overnight. It has been through a lot to become the beautiful park it is today.
Historically, Fort Whyte has always been a place of connection. So, let's go back in time to see what mysteries in history the land holds.
Fort Whyte Alive is located on Treaty 1 territory, on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dene, and Dakota peoples, as well as the birthplace of the Métis Nation and the heart of the Métis homeland. Fort Whyte Alive is guided by respect for the land, for all living things and for all people and our future generations. The Canadian Pacific Railway had control over the Canadian Railway construction south of their main. But the new Northern Pacific and Manitoba Railway wanted to build a line of their own that would cross CPR's main line. Well, this started an armed standoff between the two companies.
Enter William White, the CPR official, who was sent in to help solve the dispute between the two companies. In the end, no shot was fired and no one was harmed. As the battle was resolved with CPR taking a victory, the area of the dispute became known as Fort Whyte, and the name has stuck to this day.
The Canada Cement Company began mining the area for clay to make cement. The result of the mining left massive ponds and brush, leading to the Winnipeggers using the area for picnicking and swimming before the area was fenced off by the company.
A group of employees of the cement company formed the Lucky 13 Rod and Gun Club. They wanted to develop the area of Fort Whyte to create a waterfowl sanctuary and introduce animals such as Canadian geese and mallard ducks.
Almost 10 years later, the Wildlife Foundation of Manitoba comes in and helps to provide facilities and financing for education in the science and art of conservation of wildlife and its habitat. Since the 70s, many facilities and education programs have been added to the park with the help of supporters and visitors.
In 1980, the Fort Whyte Foundation was established.
In this time, Fort Whyte has seen a great expansion in its land.
Over 660 acres of it.
The addition of floating boardwalks and learning centers.
Walking paths, aquariums, and learning installations.
A cafe, the addition of a bison herd, and the Fort Whyte Farms.
The Interactive Touch Museum, beehive, interpretive exhibits, and even a toboggan run.
Fort Whyte is an amazing place. It has so many places to learn, from prairies to forests and even wetlands.
When we have questions, we just ask our friend Barret. He works here, and he helps us teach us about the diversity of wildlife around us at Fort Whyte. He also teaches us about the local history and how to track animals, and how to be a good steward of the environment.
Like when it comes to protecting our ecosystems. Here in Canada, we have over 20 ecozones. 6 of those span across our province, Manitoba.
Ecosystems are complex communities of wildlife that rely on each other. But we rely on them too. Ecosystems help clean and purify basic human needs like water and air, produce food, regulate climate, and so much more.
Back in 2020, it was found that Canada produces up to 3 million tons of plastic a year, with 29,000 tons of plastic ending up in nature.
That's not a good thing. Knowing how to properly dispose of my waste is a big way I can help keep things like plastic out of parks like Fort Whyte and protect the animals that call it home.
The decisions we make can have a positive or negative effects on the natural environments we visit.
We need to protect these spaces so that the next generations have what they need, both humans and animals.
We come to Fort Whyte all the time, and we love learning from their educators and their programs. We have learned so much, but one of our favorite things to do here is... Forest Time!
Forest time is simply being intentional about being outside in nature, learning from the land, and learning through exploration, communication, and teamwork.
Nature is one of the best teachers you can have. Forest time can help build confidence in ourselves and show us what we're capable of. Being in nature can help us become better problem solvers, help us gain inspiration, and help us become more creative and inventive.
It gives us a chance to explore and discover in our own way and fall in love with the world around us.
Being outside keeps me healthy too.
Whether I'm hiking, running through the forest, snowshoeing, playing a good old-fashioned game of tag, or just enjoying the wide open space, I'm usually getting way more exercise than if I sat at a desk all day.
But forest time isn't limited to Fort Whyte. There are tons of places you can go. You can visit provincial parks all around Manitoba and protected natural places like the Transcona Bioreserve.
It used to be an industrial dumping ground way back in the 1940s, but now with the help of experts from Fort Whyte and others, it has become a beautiful natural park full of biodiversity. And there are so many more. The Cinnabon Forest with its lush aspen and oak trees, the Memorial Pond, and if you're lucky, you might spot white-tailed deer, waterfowl, and maybe even small mammals like foxes.
There's George Olive Nature Park, named after the historical Transcona mayor in the 1930s. It has several lowland marshes to explore.
Don't forget Hentwolf Park, which is home to over 150 species of songbirds and used to be farmland for Métis communities back in the 1800s.
And that's just to name a few here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Nature has so much to teach us, and we have so much to learn.
We need to make time for nature. Not only does it make us happier and healthier, but it helps us understand why we need it and why we need to take care of it.